Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms. These are Charter Moms chats, and enrollment season is really heating up. Today, we're featuring Somerset Academy of Texas, which is a network of schools here in San Antonio, and they're going to start open enrollment on November 1st, which is just around the corner. And we updated our enrollment guide blog post. It's at sachartermoms.com. But I'm really excited to be able to have a conversation with a group of principals from Somerset Academy, because they'll be able to talk about what's unique about each campus as far as curriculum and school culture and things like that. So let me introduce our group. So next to me on the screen is Corey Oliver, and he's the Deputy Superintendent of Somerset Academy of Texas. He's also based on the Brooks Academy Collegiate campus, so he's going to be answering questions about that campus as well. And then below me is Lily Collins, and she's the principal at Somerset Academy Lone Star, which is it has Spanish language curriculum, so we'll learn about that. And then catty corner for me is TaLisa Wilson, and she is the principal at Somerset Academy Oaks, which is on the northwest side. So, and then there's one more Brooks campus, or there's one more Somerset campus, Somerset Academy Brooks, and we're going to hope to talk about that one as well. So, but let's get started with this group. And my first question is for Mr. Oliver, and I wanted to ask if you could kind of paint like the big picture, like mission and vision of Somerset Academy.
Yeah, I would love to. So I think first and foremost, everyone in education now has the big, pretty, all stakeholders involved mission and vision. But I think for us, what it comes down to is pretty much we excel in situations where we have high need families, where maybe it's SPED families, maybe it's bilingual students, maybe it's that low SES section of our society, and we really like to make an impact in those communities. I think Somerset has sort of grown a national notoriety for doing such. And so to me, while there is that, future, we want to get kids future ready. We want to make sure that they have pathways for success, be it in the trades, be it in, going to college or being an entrepreneur. All of those things to me are extremely important. It's a working class city. And in a working class city, you want to give kids as many options as possible, because there's just so many talents, and showing them how to tap those talents and get them out there doing something that they want to do. And the way we do that is to helping each kid find purpose. So for me, the big word of the day is going to be purpose.
Yeah, that's great. That's very meaningful. So I want to ask, folks who are watching this or looking at the blog post are like, wait, didn't this used to be called the Somerset Academy's blog post? Or like what? And so I was wondering if you could comment on that. And I'm the kind of person who I've already dug around, and I know that that even like Brooks Academy's had ties to, a charter management organization based out of Florida. But can you talk about the name change?
Yeah, absolutely. Our superintendent last January, she decided to retire. And so I was coming on board last year, being from Somerset, from some of the older schools in South Florida. And it just seemed like that was the time. Brooks has been operating under the Somerset board for a decade or more. So they really, truly were a Somerset Academy school. So for us, it was just a timing thing. We figured if we're going to make all these changes, let's just make them all at once and move on. And that's kind of how it happened. But Somerset Academy did start in Miramar, Florida. We had a two-school classroom. A two-classroom school. I said that backwards. And we've grown now to well over 30,000 students nationwide, predominantly in Florida, Texas, Arizona, Nevada. And it's just become this really amazing network that I can't imagine working for anybody else.
Yeah, well, I think I know when I talk to families, like for the most part, their greatest concern is, I want my child in a school that's a good fit for them. They feel like they belong and they're learning and they're making progress. But then, nerds like me always want to look under the hood and be like, okay, what kind of school is this? Oh, it's an open enrollment charter school. Okay, it's part of a network. This is the Texas version. There's also this national, right? And then what's cool is that you can research, and like there's so many great stories out of Somerset schools in Florida. And I think that can give Texas families some peace of mind, knowing what a long track record it is, and and the kind of the experience at the kind of schools that you've worked in South Florida.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to I want to welcome Bonnie. She's joining us from she's the principal at Somerset Academy Brooks. Thank you, Bonnie. And she's had her own standalone blog post too, because she's a parent and a school leader. So she's already shared a parent perspective post with us. So thank you, Bonnie.
Hi, thanks for having us again.
So Bonnie, Deputy Superintendent Oliver was talking about big picture about Somerset, but I wanted to give each of y'all a chance to talk about what's unique at the curriculum at each of y'all's campuses. So Bonnie, let me go ahead and go to you first. And if you could talk about what's the unique curriculum focus at Somerset Academy Brooks.
Thank you so much, Inga. Happy to be here. I would say that beginning with the end in mind, what makes us unique is that we have a very tailored early college high school program where our students can graduate with their associate's degrees and or industry certification. So how do we get them there? And I will say that we are officially in first year, is just coming off a meeting with our coach for being ECHS designated. And how do we get them there? Well, we give them the gift of proficiency beginning in elementary school and proficiency in reading and math. And if they are struggling or they are not quite where they need to be, then we get them there. And we do that with highly qualified staff, teachers, support personnel to include myself. I've been in a few kinder and first grade classrooms this past week, and it has reignited something in me. And then once they get to middle school, proficiency is extremely important because at that time, they have the ability to earn high school credit in middle school through an accelerated program. So them being on level is paramount in consideration when we're thinking about, okay, how are they going to take these high school courses in middle school? How are they going to be able to be prepared to make this decision in 8th grade on what pathway they're going? Are they going to ECHS? Will they be doing dual credit and taking AP courses? Are they interested in industry-based certifications, or do they want to dabble in a little bit of everything? That's an option for them as well. Our school also on the fun side has competitive athletics available beginning in 4th grade. We have art programs. We are headed to the state championship once again in football this year. And we expect for our high school volleyball, basketball, and flag football teams to make it pretty far as well. But it does begin in elementary. We are pre-K through college campus, we like to say as well. And if your child did not start with us in pre-K, that's fine. I mean, we have kids that come to us senior year. We have kids that come to us in 5th grade. And our goal is to ensure that they receive a family style feel from us. And once again, that they leave with proficiency in what's going to make them successful when they leave our walls for good. And that's after graduation, not sooner.
Yeah. Well, Bonnie, that's really helpful because you paint a picture of all these steps it takes to prepare kids for, the college level work, right? So having proficiency in math and reading in elementary, then in middle school, they're able to start taking high school classes. In high school, they have all these choices. And meanwhile, there's a balance between, the academic stuff, but also all the extracurriculars. I know that at one of our events, the drum line came, and I was just blown away by how much energy the students had.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because they've also expanded into modern jazz, and we also have a modern band currently, and they represent us so well. They bring to life any event that they are invited to and participate in, and we're extremely lucky to have them on our campus.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And so while I have you on screen too, shout out to our board member, Smiley Orozco, his two daughters are alumni from Brooks, Emma and Elaine Orozco. So I owe them a shout out.
Yes.
Their alma mater. Yeah.
Emma and Elaine, they're doing amazing things, and we're happy to have them represent us as alumni. I do want to say too, I was at University of Incarnate Word School of Medicine this last week, and I heard that if someone wants to become a doctor, they need to start thinking about it in 4th grade.
Woo.
So let's put that into perspective for everyone. But yes, thank you, Inga.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it takes advanced math already in college to be able to go to med school, and in order to be ready for that, it does start young. So, well, thank you, Bonnie. Okay, so next I want to ask TaLisa. You're on deck. I'm going to ask you about Somerset Academy Oaks, so Bonnie was talking about at Brooks, it's a pre-K through 12, but y'all are a smaller campus serving younger students, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you again, Inga, for having us back. Always love to chat with you. Our campus is a kinder through 6th grade campus. Basically, for us, what we do is pretty much piggybacking off what Miss Bonnie said is we prepare the kids at the elementary level and hoping that they transition into one of our larger schools, either Brooks or collegiate. The item that sets us apart from other campuses is that we have an intense focus on fine arts. So this year we've added Little Owls Choir. They will be featured November 17th. At the Spurs game. They will be seen during the pregame. So we have them representing us. We also have added 5th and 6th grade, 4th and 6th grade to band. So now we have 4th through 6th grade band, when last year we only had 6th grade band. So our band is growing. They pretty much, like Bonnie said with her drum line, they perform at all of our different functions. So we have a fall showcase that includes our 3rd through 6th grade, and then our spring showcase that includes our K through 2nd. One of the things that we're trying to do to support our sister school, Brooks and Collegiate, is really start talking about CCMR, college career military readiness. And one of the things that we are super excited to kick off this year, well, this is our 2nd year doing this, is we're going to have our 2nd annual Kinder through 2nd Career for Success Runway. And so our kinder through 2nd grade kiddos get the opportunity to dress up as, who they want to potentially be as far as a career. And our coach, PE coach, Ryan Lawson, is the coordinator of that. So he sends this huge list of different professions, whether it's in a trade department. He sends that list to the parents. The parents have a conversation with their child, and then they come and they dress. And we have a red carpet. A few parents have donated the actual red carpet. It came in yesterday. So this year we have actual red carpet, not red butcher paper. We're super excited about that. And then our counselors, when they push into classrooms, they also have a component where they talk about career, college, military readiness. And so then we are having our 1st annual career day, where we have parents who have signed up to come and talk to our classes. We're super excited because we have close to 60 people coming. So it's going to be an all week event, but the runway show is going to be like that Tuesday. The career day is going to be that Wednesday, but each day we're going to have like a spirit week where they're going to get to dress in the attire for K through 6. But so we're super excited to have close to 60 people coming on that day. And it's just going to be a full day of talking about, the different pathways that students can go into, and also sharing along the lines of making sure that our kids are proficient in reading and math. We this year have started a mixed class where we have our 6th grade and we have our 5th grade accelerated students. They're in one class together. Our 5th grade accelerated students all scored master's level on their reading and math as of last year for STAR. They do have some gaps. So what happens in that class is that our teacher provides them, she does a differentiated instruction by providing, based on their data, provides them the instruction of those areas or those TEKS and standards that they're missing. Then she merges them into the sixth grade curriculum. So we're super excited about that. We're seeing some wonderful things coming out of that. And we're stressing to them like, hey, when you move into our sister schools, Brooks or Collegiate, there's an opportunity for you to possibly start getting high school credits when you're in middle school. So we're trying to, really put that in the atmosphere and hoping that they'll, hold on to that. We're super excited. In December, we are doing what's called the jukebox presentation, where the kids have been practicing different routines from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I probably shouldn't say this, but the kids do not know that I am a surprise soloist. So they do not know that I'm going to come out on stage at the end and I am going to sing with the choir. They know that they're practicing The Greatest Love of All by Whitney Houston, and I'm going to sing the verses. So hopefully no one is on here and they're listening to this. But yeah, we're super excited about it. We really get involved with the kids when it comes to the fine arts because we want the kids to be, like Bonnie has shared, we want them to be well-rounded students, a balance of academics, a balance of extracurricular activities.
Yeah. Wow. That is very rich set of activities. But you were talking about the accelerated fifth grade students being with the sixth grade students. And I was thinking, you said some things that I guess because I would not have made sense to me 10 years ago, but now that I've been at this, I just want to highlight these for parents who are listening. Like clearly you are looking at data about students and you're tailoring instruction for the students. And that's so important because that will help them to get what they need so they can go as far as possible. And
right.
I'm really impressed that you have a teacher who's that good at differentiation because that takes experience. And these days, there's so many people leaving the profession or there's new teachers coming in. And so having teachers who are like, oh, you need differentiated instruction for fifth, gotcha.
Yes.
Whoa,
yes.
that's a sign that you must have a really strong teacher.
Yes. She's amazing.
Yeah. So snaps for the teacher managing that. Yeah. So, well, that's really exciting. And yeah, I'm really impressed that you're going to tackle a Whitney Houston song for the.
Yes.
That's amazing. Okay. I'm going to send it next to Corey to talk about. So put your acting principal hat on and talk about Somerset Academy Collegiate. So if you talk about what's unique about the curriculum there, and so like Brooks, this is a big campus, goes all the way up to 12th grade.
That's correct. Well, we like to say pre-K through college. We even coined the term. We are an early high school, middle school. So Bonnie and I argue about that a lot too. But we offer a lot of the same things. We are an early college high school. So we are pushing those students to accelerate as many students as possible down that pathway. I try to caution the parents and get them to understand that acceleration, first of all, it should happen not in the formative years, not in K-5. Acceleration really works best in the 6-12 area because truly your kids can still graduate by 17 years old, 18 years old with their college degree, ready to go off into the big time, and a lot of parents want to start accelerating very young. And sometimes there's so much that can get missed when doing that foundationally that it doesn't pay off in the long run. Whereas if you start in 6th grade, by 7th grade, you're in high school algebra, by 8th grade, you take your first college class, you're still going to get all that acceleration that you want for your student and more. It's going to be where their junior and senior year, they really have nothing to take but college classes. So we try to do that with as many students as possible. I'm one of those people that got duped into 2 master's programs and have that way too much student loan debt that I don't know how I'll ever pay off. And so I do caution parents with that as well. It's like, if your students can get college for free now, this is the time to do it. Don't let them graduate early for the sake of graduating early. If you're trying to get to a 4-year down the road, it's better for the 4-year. The number one thing, if you've ever attended the College Board seminars that they do on the national scale each year, every one of those entry-level or those college admissions offices will tell you if your senior did not take math or your senior did not take science while they were a senior in high school, the chances of getting into our program is slim to none. And so acceleration is wonderful because it keeps kids' interest high. It has them being successful. It gives them that confidence. However, if they do all that just to take a year off their senior year, it can be really detrimental to their success down the road and the things that they want to do. So there's a give and take to it. I think we should stop looking at education as a finish line. Unfortunately, that's what we do with these little pieces of paper that we earn. And it's, I know everyone's heard lifelong learning and how important that is. But going down this pathway of like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. This is what I'm doing this year. And this is my goal that I want to tackle next. Instead of saying, I'm going to take everything now. That way I can take my senior year off and relax and get a job and save for college or whatever the excuse is. Truly, to me, it's an excuse to take that time and not use it wisely. You're going to have I always tell my kids, you're going to either work really hard until you're 25 and play the rest of your life, or you're going to play really hard until you're 25 and you're going to work the rest of your life. And it's really important for you to understand that difference. At collegiate, even beyond that, though, I'm someone that really values the trades. I really value entrepreneurship. I really value, fields where kids have to problem solve. They use their hands more. They're not just that sort of white collar, I'm going to be the CEO of my company. If you're on LinkedIn, you've noticed in the last 15 years that the second a student graduates high school, all of a sudden they're the CEO of their organization. And it's like, okay, you gave yourself a title. Now what? What have you done? Right. And I want to see them be successful. And I love the confidence, but there's a lot of experience that they can get in life that may make them want to take that CEO title down a little bit. But I want to encourage things. And I know Bonnie's doing this, and I have to give her a big shout out, but she's got a couple of kids that are earning certifications in welding through their college. Palo Alto. So those are the things that I think we can't forget about anymore. The world's changing again. And if we don't open up every possible door, when they leave high school, they can make the choice. I want my kids, if they say, I'm going to be a welder, that's what I want to do. I know that's what I want to do. Great. We're going to get you certified in welding and you're going to finish your AA so that when you leave high school, if you want to go to college, you can. If you don't want to go to college, you don't have to. But my whole thing, I have two things on my resume. I carry heavy things and I open doors. That's the only two things I put on my resume. And if you don't want to hire me for that reason, then I don't know what else to tell you, because those are the only two things I do in life. And I think that's really important for our kids to go down. Having those doors open gives them options, and they have to have options. And the other thing that we do out here that's just a little bit different than what goes on in Brooks is we are partnered with another network called SLAM. And that stands for Sports, Leadership, Arts, and Marketing. And that program was conceived by the famous South Florida rapper Pitbull. And this is sort of like his brainchild, his baby. And we are a partnership. We have a partnership with them. And ultimately, the goal is to have the kids get involved in sports. It gets them engaged. It keeps them happy. It keeps them motivated. And we offer tracks through SLAM as well that include exercise and wellness, healthcare therapeutics, business marketing and finance, and digital communications right now. And then the other thing that we've just added, this will be an announcement right here on San Antonio Charter Moms, first time ever hearing it. But our district just got all of its paperwork ready. We're going to be a 4-H district as well. And so each school can open its own chapters. A lot of people don't realize that 4-H it encompasses a great deal more than pigs and cows and sheep. In fact, each one of our schools, there's a science and engineering pathway that Bonnie could adopt right now. There's a language pathway that Principal Collins could adopt right now. And there's definitely a fine arts pathway that Principal Wilson could adopt right now as well. So, we already have a lot of the things that 4-H offers at our fingertips. And now taking that to another big, expansive community organization, I think is going to be really powerful for us, because 4-H does amazing things for kids.
That's small town Wisconsin, and was very active in 4-H when she was coming up through school. And it wound up, I think her passion was in things like business and marketing down the road. Absolutely, like 4-H teaches that too. So it's not just getting up early to feed the chickens. Although there's some of that too, right? But yeah, what no, but you touched on some really important points. Like I like you are seeing like what's happening in the world and how to prepare students for that, right? So like it's great to get kids ready for college. It's also important to offer those industry certifications. And I feel like when I was coming up through school, and like high school and college was a game that you had to check these boxes and like thread this needle and put these credits together. But it wasn't so much thinking about like, well, what's my purpose? Like, what problems do I want to solve in the world? Where do I fit in? Like, what do I do better than anyone else? What do I love doing more than anything else I could do? And so if you can like turn kids onto those types of questions, then right, they'll be motivated to put the energy in while they're young. Like you said, like keep the momentum going, all through their last year of high school. Get as many credits and certifications as they can to set them up for the future. Do it as low a cost as possible, because college is so expensive. There's just so many pitfalls out there, right? Like college debt, or finding out that you didn't take advanced math enough for the major that you want in college, or like all these pitfalls. So, or like having to work a food service job rather than having like a welding job to help pay your way through college. Like there's so many like life hacks that you can introduce these kids to, so that they can leave high school with so much more momentum.
Yeah, those questions you asked to me are the most important questions that we should fundamentally be asking in all public ed right now. What problem do I want to solve? What's my purpose? I don't see the point again of having that checklist of an end game, and it's just you create a society of folks that aren't terribly happy with what they're doing in life because they focused on sort of the wrong goal, and they're miserable for it. And it makes me really sad, because we're so much better than that,
Yeah. Well, I feel like Somerset in particular, and the broader charter school movement and school choice movement is about like helping kids to look at education differently and look at their lives differently, and hopefully have like healthier, more fulfilled people in the world. And so like that's why I'm so proud to like evangelize about like, hey parents, like, hey kids, like research your schools and find out what else is out there, because they're hopefully you'll find the program, like whether it's doing choir at this TaLisa's campus, or like whatever it is that gets that student fired up, right? Or doing welding at Brooks, like whatever gets that student fired up, like that will carry them hopefully through the rest of their life. Let's see. Oh, hey, we've got some comments. Let me bring these on. Let's see. Lisa says, oh yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad you like the questions. Yeah, 4-H. Oh, Kat is a parent at Lone Star, so that's the perfect transition, because I'm going to talk to Principal Collins next. So yeah, so Kat, yeah, maybe Karina will get to participate in 4-H. So that's exciting. Okay, so Lily, I'm going to put you on deck, and it will be your turn to talk about what's the unique curriculum focus at Somerset Lone Star.
So thank you so much for having us today here, and thank you so much for sharing all that. I do believe we do have a purpose, and that purpose is to grow our students and to get them ready for their next step. In our case, we're a pre-K to 5th grade campus. And we're very unique in the case that we have 2 educational paths currently. So our first one is our traditional program, which is just any program like we have in our sister campus. All the classes are in English, where they take an elective and recess as well. And then we have our bilingual program. That's what makes us unique, because we do support, or we do foster, our Spanish language. So our bilingual program is based on the transitional bilingual early exit program, which is to foster that native language, which is mostly in Spanish, what the students we received, and then starting those classes in English as well, so they get ready for middle school and then their future career as well. So we do support that. We have those 2 schools in one school, so that makes us unique, as well as we promote our family. We're a very family-oriented campus. We like to foster that community base with all our events, with our students, nurturing that environment in our classrooms. So every morning our students start with, number 1, both in both languages, the Pledge of Allegiance. And then we have a morning meetings every day where the teachers can connect with students, see how they're feeling, talked about those, and get them those tools on how to be able to be in this world that is changing so fast. So we're providing those tools, supporting those tools with them. We also have an amazing counselor that help us as well with the teachers, with our parents, and all of that. We're very excited too that this year we're starting our competitive sports. That's something it was asked by parents as well. So we listened to them. So we're going to start with basketball and soccer. Soccer, it's huge here in our community school. So we're doing those two. I don't know if we're going to go to state champion or not, but whatever it is, it's a learning process. It's okay to win. It's okay to lose too. We learn in both situations. So that's where we're teaching our students and to represent, to be able to wear that shirt and be the face for our school. So that's something we really, really are looking forward this year.
So we have a question. See, Kat is doing a shout out to Coach Turner. Is Coach Turner the counselor that you mentioned?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, and we've had, actually, I think Coach Turner has provided guest posts for us in the past about things like yoga for classrooms and like mindful moments and things like that. And that's something we've gotten as feedback from like Somerset parents in our Facebook group, is that they really appreciate the attention to the social emotional learning for the students.
She is amazing, and we're so blessed to have her host in our campus. She still teaches at collegiate, so we do have to share her, but she's based most of the time at our campus, and she supports our families and our students and all the staff tremendously.
Yeah. Well, Principal Collins, thank you for explaining about the the difference between like the traditional program and then the bilingual program, and that's what makes Lone Star unique. But I know before we went on the air, you mentioned that trunk or treat is coming up, right? So you have preparations. I can only imagine.
Yes, that's one of our biggest events. So our families are so excited. It's just we're a little worried about the weather, but we're keep monitoring in there, and our parents are amazing. I know if we have to have a plan B or C or D, they're going to be there supporting us all the way through.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'm really pleased. We've been able to hear about what's unique about the curriculum at each different campus, and y'all have each also shared about extracurricular activities and things like the social emotional learning. I'm just wondering, can y'all comment? I'm not sure who to send the question to, but like you mentioned Coach Turner, like I know that like families they're looking for a school that has that balance between the high academic standards and caring for the well-being of students. And when I hear parents ask questions like that, often I tell them, hey, you should take a closer look at Somerset, because I feel like in a lot of ways it's the best of both worlds. So I don't know, when do y'all want to kind of respond to that or comment on that? What advice would you give to parents who are looking for that kind of balance?
I would encourage them to look at any of our schools. Just as you mentioned, Inga, every single school has something to offer. It's just the delivery may be a little bit different. At my school particularly, we have a counseling staff of 3. We have a social worker, a school guidance counselor, and a social emotional learning counselor, and they are all amazing, and they all support in ways, whether it's transportation, someone needs a bus pass, or transportation, getting a donation of a bike, uniforms, and in even some instances, it's not about the tangible things for the students, it's the relationships that they cultivate there. I am completely okay if a student is upset in the morning and they say, I don't want to speak to you because I really want to speak to so-and-so, or shout out to Mr. Alexander, Ms. Espinosa, and Ms. Contreras. Those names we hear a lot because they have someone that they can trust. And for us, it's about trusting the adults that are within the school building. And those adults often fulfill different capacities and roles. So I'm very proud to be part of an organization that values that, and the importance, just like Lily said earlier, we're trying to get kids okay with their feelings and their words and different things that are happening now in the world that they feel and they sense. So giving them that opportunity in our schools is important. As a mom as well, it's very important to me to know that my child has someone on campus that they can go to that is not only an expert in the field, but is willing to help them in any capacity.
Yeah.
To piggyback on that, I come from a district where school safety was such a huge requirement just to get through the day. And so school safety is a big deal to me here. And a lot of people have this misconception, and I guess it's an honest one, but that somehow the threat is school hardening is the fix. And really, there's no truth to that. The research will show you that there's no truth to it, right? The real most important thing is that every kid, just like Bonnie said, has an advocate on your campus. And if that advocate's not you, then you find that advocate for that child so that they have somebody that they trust, that they have a good, positive relationship with. That is the most important thing to school safety, is making sure that all of your kids feel welcome and loved. And if you can't do that, you're going to have more problems than those schools that are doing that. So it's imperative for us under school safety to continue down that path for SEL.
May I add something, Inga? Deputy Superintendent Oliver he started it right on. So this is going to fit right along with what he just shared. Under his leadership, he's also our director of safety. And so when he came on board, he made sure that each campus has a safety team, and that safety team has been trained under, the behavioral threat assessment. But we've learned through his leadership that, again, as he stated, it's not always about, with the unfortunate things that are going on with school shootings. But even when our counselors are not available, we still have a team of members who have been through the mental health training provided by Texas State University. And so sometimes those safe adults are those members of the safety team. And through our extensive training, we've been able to just kind of break down those walls to help students understand that all the adults on your campus are safe adults. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to speak to your teacher. I've been told by students, like Miss Bonnie stated, I like you, Miss Wilson, but I really want to talk to our counselor, Miss DK. And I'm like, okay, as long as you talk about it, no problem. We're really, fortunate to have parents that trust us enough to, and even parents, they call and they say, well, my child said that he wanted to talk to me, Miss Wilson, they wanted to talk to you, or they wanted to talk to Miss Here. And so we stop what we're doing and we make sure that first that they are emotionally safe. Then we will add on that physical safety. And once you have that balance, then you can really focus on truly helping them to become proficient academically.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad that y'all included like the safety aspect in the discussion, because that's another concern that a lot of parents have. Some parents are reluctant to even bring their kids back to a campus. They might be continuing to homeschool, or but hey, I've been there. Homeschooling's hard. It really helps to have a team. It helps to have people with the curriculum expertise, and also it's so important for we want kids to grow in independence and not just always rely on their parents, and they need trusted adults in their lives, and they need more role models than just their parents. And so having like Ms. Wilson said, in order for them to be able to tackle the academics, they have to feel physical and emotional safety. And y'all have all demonstrated that you have team members on campus who are focused on that, and they're the ones that the students trust and will talk to. And then once they feel emotionally safe, then they're ready to do all these amazing academic things, right? Like early high school, middle school, right? Okay, well, this has been great. I feel like I've learned from this discussion more things about Somerset, and y'all have expressed better than I ever could about some of these unique aspects about the relationship building and what the curriculum focus, how those work. And so I think what I want to do to close out is just make sure that families know how to get a hold of how to reach Somerset Academies, how they can apply for enrollment. So, Corey, can I put you on deck to cover that part?
Sure. They can
Okay.
check us out at www.somersetacademytx.org. That's SOMERSET, just to clarify. And all four of our schools are listed there. We recently launched a new website as well in January. We finally got a new platform that we're working through called Aries, that just right there on the website, but it helps us because it differentiates where you're applying. It'll go right to those principals, and we'll reach out to you, preferably within 24 hours. That's our goal. We offer tours, and we actually this Friday at Collegiate at 4802 Vance Jackson Road. This is our Fall Fest. So from 4:30 to 6:30, you can come onto campus, meet some of our staff members. You can tour and see it. We have a giant, amazing, beautiful campus. But I know every one of our schools offers tours. Every one of our principals is ready to meet anybody that wants to join us, because we call it the Somerset family, and it's all about empowering people, not just kids, but all parts of the family.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah, it is a family environment, and yeah, I have to agree with what Corey said. The collegiate campus is, I mean, like there's not really any piece of land with a school on it in this region like that. It's yeah, you kind of have to see it to believe it. So, but yes, but it's not just the building, but like it's the warmth of the teachers, and it's the experience that all the students get, all the different activities. Like I feel like we've just scratched the surface, but there's like, I know, like there's theater at Collegiate, and it's like so all kinds of stuff going on. So yeah, but and the important thing is for families to come and get their questions answered and find out, what programs are there that their particular student will get excited about. Oh, and I guess let me talk about, so right now when we're recording this, it's October 24th. So the open enrollment period for the 2024-25 school year starts on November 1st. So mark that date down, get on the website on that day. Open enrollment ends in mid-February. So encourage families to get their applications in before mid-February. They'll have the best chance to get an offer, and not be waitlisted if they get it in before the lottery. So, okay, I think that's all the housekeeping. This has been a great discussion, and I really appreciate y'all's time, and keep doing great work for kids at the Somerset campuses.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, y'all. Take
Bye.
care.
Love Charter.
Gracias.
We love Inga too.
Aw. Thanks, y'all. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.